Okay, so here we have A is -4, B is 5, C is -7. It's another problem just like that last one. Hopefully this one won't turn off. It's a little harder because it's fractions, but we do the same thing. We're gonna come at this as plugging in the values using our parentheses. So our first step is plug in parentheses. So 3/4 A, and so A becomes the parentheses, minus the parentheses, so the value of 2/3 B, so B becomes the parentheses, plus C, so C becomes the parentheses, and then the final parenthesis there. Okay? And this lets us really set up this whole thing, so I can go through and go, oh, A is -4, and B is 5, and C is 7. So I got my numbers in. And so now I just got to do the math. I got to do PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division from left to right, addition, subtraction from left to right. And so when I'm doing this, I first start off with P, parentheses. And so I start with this. Again, I know where I'm at, and that's what I got to start with. So now I got to start with that, and then I got to go and look at PEMDAS again and do PEMDAS. So it's going to be parentheses. And so in these parentheses, I need to look, oh, is there any others that I need to do? And they're done. So what about exponents? There are none. So what about multiplication, division from left to right? And then bam, right there. So what I have is I have 2/3 times 5/1, right? And so really, that's just 2 times 5, and I'm not going to bring that down. I'm just going to go like this, times 5/1. So now I have 2 times 5, which is 10, 3 times 1, which is 3, and now I got to bring this down. So I have this parentheses out there. Those are my new parentheses, plus 7. And so now I got to do anything else, any other multiplication, division, and the multiplication division's done. So now I've got to go a little further, okay? Because I can't really divide 3 easily into 10. It's not going in there nicely to make a whole number. So I'm going to leave it as an improper fraction, because we're not done with the problem. So in this case, we're going to leave it as an improper fraction and keep working through. So now I go to my next spot. We're done with multiplication division, so we go to addition, subtraction, and we're going to move on to another color. And to add here, I do have to change this. I have to know where I'm going. And so I have this as 7/1. So I have that whole 3-in-1 business. And when I do my LCD trick, I can't get these broken down any further. So 3-in-1 is my LCD. So 3 times 1 is 3. So I know where I'm going, and now I got to get there. So what times 3 is 3? And that would be 1. So I got to do the same to the top. So that just stays as 10/3. But what times 1 is 3? And that would be 3. So I got to do the same to the top. So I have 3 times 7, which is 21. So now I know what I can do to add these up. And so I add them up, and I get 31/3. And at this point, I'm done with my parentheses. And now I can bring this down. Minus, and parentheses, -4, and 3/4. And then I start working with this problem again with PEMDAS. So we did PEMDAS in the inside of the parentheses, but that's done. But the problem still is there, so we still got to continue. So again with PEMDAS, any other parentheses? No. Any exponents? No. Any multiplication division from left to right? And now I'm seeing, wait a minute, from right here. Because there's that number, in this case a fraction, next to a number, right? And so what I need to do is multiply that through. And when I do that, I get negative 4 over 1. So negative 4 times 3 is a negative 12 over 4 times 1, which is 4, minus 31 over 3. And now I ask myself, well, how do I get these to be like terms? Or like, not like terms, but how do I get them to have the same denominator? So again, we do our little trick over here, 4 and 3. Nothing goes into 4 and 3, so that actually equals 12. So I know where I'm going, right? And now I got to get there. So now I'm going to put down here over 12, and I'm going to put down here over 12, and then I'm going to change my color and see how did I get to 12. How did I get 4 to 12? I have to multiply it by 3. So I do the same thing to the top, and I get a negative 36. And then what do I got to do to the 3? And I got to multiply it by 4. So I get 4 times 30, which is 120, and 4 times 1, which is 4, so I get 124. And so now I have to see again what's going on here, and I see, oh, I need 36, and I need 124 more, so I need a total of, so I'm adding these up. So I need a total of 4 and 6 is 0. So that's 5 plus 1 is 6. And then the 1 is 1. So it's 160 over 12. Oops, not 20. 12. Okay. So again, what I did is I added the 124 plus 36. And I got 0, 1. And that's a 6. Not anything extra. So 160. And now I need to divide it out. I need to say, hey, how many times does 12 go into 16? And because it's negative out here, I know it's negative 1. But how many left over? 4 left over, right? And that's my little short division we talked about. So I go 12 into 16 once with 4 left over. 12 into 40 goes in there. Well, 36, 12 times 3 is 36, right? So 3 times into 40 with, so 36 from 40 gives me 4 left over the 12. And so we're almost done, except now we got to take that 4 twelfths and break it down. So 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 12 6 times, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 6 3 times. So now we know that this is actually negative 13 and 1/3. Ta-da! That one's a tough one. Okay? And so, oh, that was a long one too. So we're going to pause that.